I love watching challenge run videos. There's something deeply entertaining about watching someone suffer through a game with one hand tied behind their back, just to prove how well it's designed or how utterly broken it is. Either way, it's content. And because I watch approximately 8 million of these videos, I started noticing a little pattern. In the comments, without fail, someone always types, "Okay, but can you beat it without playing the game?" And this comment gave me two thoughts. The first one is that the dead internet theory is definitely real. And the second one is that I should try to see how close you can actually get to doing that. In Balatro, I've played some of this game. I'm decent. I have 100% on it, but this time I wanted to do something that felt genuinely stupid. So enough yapping, here's the challenge. If I want to beat Balatro without playing Balatro, the closest I can get to that is skipping every single blind. That means we only see shops after bosses, 2 packs per ante, 8 total rounds played, extreme RNG dependence, and 0 fun. Perfect challenge run material. Okay, so, slogan. Is it possible to beat a run using only the scraps, joker, pocket lint, and sad little handful of hands you get from basically not touching the game? Let's find out. Here are the rules. No small blinds, no big blinds, Goldstake only, because anything else is too easy for me after my outrageous playtime. No legendaries, because Chico will carry this like a backpack. No throwback, I don't need to explain this. Everything else is allowed. Not that there's much else to ban. It's not like Balatro has like an Exodia card DLC or some shit, as this is, thankfully, not a game made by Ubisoft. But yeah, that's it, that's the thing. Let's start. How hard could this actually be? Let's filter the decks we aren't using so we can start actually playing. Yeah, in D tier, I think green, because we will likely use every single hand and discard to win. Plasma, because the criminal scaling is gonna be worse on this war crime of a challenge. And erratic, because rerolling for both a seed that has good jokers and a good set of cards sounds like a matryoshka of RNG. I'll start with checker deck that I think should be S tier, because of how easy it is to make 5 card hands, and the free deck fixing could be good later. So let's go to that first. The skip tags that we like to see is anything that gives us money or makes us save money. Since we have so little shops, we also like the ones that give you jokers, and the one that levels up a hand can also help you have something worth building towards. Which is what makes this challenge stupidly RNG dependent, cause here I got useless tags in NT1, but whatever, I'll stop complaining. For now, early foil plus mold is amazing, and the next job is a lot less amazing. I use the scraps, and this is where the anti-scaling of Goldstake makes it difficult. The boss scaling for Purple Stake and onwards makes it so, in order, you have to score 600, then 2000, then 6.4k, then 18k, then 50k, 120k, 220k, and finally 400k. So round 1 we are amazing with this. Round 2 we are fine. Round 3, not even a glass card saves me. I can't believe the plant will do this to me. That's one loss, or well, one loss since I started playing, as I playtested the challenge on my phone between college blocks and got absolutely nowhere for another 2 hours. Next run I got an early seltzer, and no malt. So yeah, well, I'm dead again. Cool. The next one is kinda my fault, as I trusted to get a straight flush to win and get away with the hand voucher. But
we have twice the disco, double the core, rent is up 100% and inflation is
yeah, more of the same. We get the worst rare skill in the history of the game, but we also get Blackboard, so I guess I'll try.
continues. Other cards we have the ship, actually are, so now that we know these are cards, we found a way to find some more incredible numbers. We actually have some scaling.
I'm trying to scrap everything I can with plays like discarding both for faceless and road. This works for quite some time. We get to NT5 after scaling a little bit with Castle, and using Justice plus Full for double glass, I was able to get past the 50k score milestone. Now this is where Balatro gets deep. You see, if I need glass cards to win, and I know I can do 200k with two of them, I need to get them as much as possible over anything else. So we get Troubadour for the hand size, even though it's a rental and unbroke, to try surpass the plus zero what? The zero discards boss, and I don't succeed anyway. And RNG screws me over. So yeah, burn everything down, start from the beginning.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
In this run I got a 4 fingers that will allow me to do straight flushes, which was useful, very useful. Until we run into the Flint, which halved the chips and mold. And kill me. Cool. Let's try a different approach. I tried the Goldstake for a bit. The Hex at the start should be a way to guarantee X mold, as I've been getting so screwed over by scoring anyway. After the usual 20 losses on NT4 or before that, or the NT1 boss anyway, I finally got this run.
Entes. Esto. Holográfico. Esto probablemente lo quiero. Esto probablemente lo quiero.
This run was good. We used a little trick to get the Midas mask, which helped me a bit at moments. We took a speculative loyalty card that saved us from discard RNG, fucking over our blackboard, and used a desperate Ouija. It saved my ass from the needle, but after turning every glass card that I had into a face card, Midas would, you know, do his thing. Very fitting, very fitting, honestly. On top of that, the next boss was the plant anyway, so yeah, we lost. On the bright side, anti-7 for the first time. Not bad, huh? Honestly, let's keep digging. I thought this deck would have been tier A because of the Hex and Spectral cards, but honestly, with how little they normally show up, I barely see any of them in 7 total shops that I have for the run. So the main upside of the deck is straight up just the Hex. And sometimes you end up selling that Joker too later because, you know, better stuff shows up. The other deck on this tier was Blue deck, but in the end, I didn't end up playing it. Of course, on S tier, we also have Anaglyph deck. This shit's entire gimmick is you getting more skip tags per game, but I forgot it existed until now. Maybe I forgot about it because it's so ass for regular Goldstake, but whatever, we're trying this. If you thought this would make the challenge free, you'd be wrong, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on early game playing this run, killing it before I even get to see the skip deck from for jokers or whatever, as well as some regular plays that I sometimes do, forgetting that I literally have 7 rounds before the final boss, like buying an eternal trading card. Another problem that we have to have in mind for this challenge is the amount of hands we play. 7 rounds before final boss times 4 hands on average is a whooping 28 hands to play before that, on average of course. There are things that give you more, but in general the point is that scaling jokers that would normally carry the shit out of you on Goldstake with an average of 84 hands to play here are not as good. Eventually the score requirement catches up on you and you are dead.
Another one. Another one.
I got a throwback on a run. I continued playing to see if I could beat it, even though I already established that the winning Athen wouldn't have one. The lack of plus mold and chip scaling made me lose. Or maybe it was that I recorded this at 1 am after hours of lost runs and played like shit. Both of them are possible, actually. It's not like you get to choose that much in the little amount of cards that you get to see anyway. There's only so much you can do with almost no scaling. One round you crush the blind, life is great, and the next one you gamble for a blueprint on a wraith because it's literally the only thing you can do. Crazy stuff, right? I tried white stake for one run to see how difficult would it be, and it's like night and day, I'm telling you. Damn. You know shit's hard when you go back to the seed with information of the shops and stuff, just to see if it was possible, theoretically, and it seems straight up not possible to win the seed at all, no matter what you do. With the non-existent time to deck build, there are also some very funny losses. Like here, I had level 10 4 of a kind, and I wasn't able to find one on the boss that gives you free infinite hand size, and with a +1 discard joker. On another run I got tons of plus mold and no X mold, which is just as fucking useless, but the run was overall uninteresting. In the end it's better that I didn't win, and instead lost very pathetically on the last round.
Everyone New York, you've been doing your service a long time ago. Thank you.
Let's try some other decks for variety's sake. Yellow deck I thought would be S, as the initial money would give you a easy early game before the money related skip stack will show up, which is true, but by how much money you are forced to spend later, starting with more money is not as good as in regular Goldstake. The rest of the run was not really exactly worth mentioning, so Magic deck had some high roll potential by using 3 deaths on the same card, 3 hermits, and other combinations. But since it's a one-time thing, I put it on B tier. Next run, I got two skips that would give me a discount on the rerolls, which wouldn't be very awesome anyway, so maybe it's not bad that I also died to NT1 here. The double skip is useful for getting good stuff. I was lucky enough to get a straight flush on the first round and a money joker right after. Crazy joker should be enough to be able to win the round, or at least that's what I thought, because I got screwed over massively by RNG on my draws because I wasn't able to get a fucking jack. So we lose to NT2 this time, which is kind of crazy. I did get investment tag one time here, which is probably the best one to get in NT1 in both regular Goldstake and this challenge. But I had to reset the seed. This happens a lot. I just haven't shown all of it. I've deleted some of the footage of me dying. I was able in this run to actually use the fools for triple hanged man, which was pretty good. But don't ask me how, but I managed to also screw this one up. Well, I mean, it could maybe it was my fault, maybe it was RNG's fault for not giving me the ace for the straight. The runs on this deck were kinda ass, I'm not gonna lie, but here is the best one that I got on Magic deck. Putting justice on our fools would be kinda useful in the future if we get some sort of retrigger. Actually, I think retriggers would be the only kind of build that would be able to defeat this challenge once and for all. I was gonna hold the fools for later to see if I could get a hermit on it, since I have never been able to get a fucking hermit. We do get campfire, which is even more relevant to our future hermit plan, so we are not gonna use the fools if we don't need to yet. By using Odd Tone, I was able to get 2k without Malt, which is not that hard, honestly. We do get Hanged Man from 8 Ball, which is crazy because normally you don't get shit from 8 Ball, but whatever. We get a riffraff that we sell. I don't think I would have been able to get 6k on this round anyway if I didn't sell that, because I would have then had to sell something else, like the 8 ball or one of my plus malt jokers, my odd toll or something, and I can't repeat hand times here. So on all that on top of each other made me lose again. I lost faith on this deck after this loss, rather after these much losses, so I went back to some of the other decks, like Ghost deck. I don't know what happened to Magic deck, it's just a good deck. I made it look like ass in this gameplay right here, but I don't know. I stopped playing mainly because that deck wasn't, how do I say this? Maybe it wasn't destined to be the one to give me my win on the challenge. There are some other decks that I never touched. These are Red deck, even though I ranked it as an S tier at the start, because I now figured that being able to draw better hands a little bit more consistently is not that helpful. I noticed this after 3 days of not winning. Blue deck, because the extra hand didn't sound better than yellow or checkered. Technically, you get 25% more points with this because, it's one more hand. But I wasn't scaling that much anyway, so I didn't try it in the end, ever. Nebula, because I fucking hate it. There's no more explanation. Anti-Nebula propaganda. The agenda is my top priority, something something. I got so desperate I went to erratic deck. If I theoretically get a 4 of a kind build, I should be winning, right? The thing is, this deck is so random, you normally don't get that much of the same card, but rather a scrambled egg of numbers and face cards with more of one suit or two sometimes, which is helpful, but after dying so much on checkered deck, we know that being able to consistently draw flushes is not going to win by itself. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I dropped this shit immediately. Let's just go back to an active deck. In this run, I got a clean stickerless drawn card. A very rare sight in Goldstake, I'm telling ya. I then took a speculative dice instead of a perishable trading card. Hopefully Bloodstone shows up. After using a world here, I was able to one-shot Anti 2. And my two polychromes are Chad and Baseball card. After digging a little bit, I found an Acrobat that is 100% joining the crew, and I'm already planning on what to do when the next perishable Baseball card goes away. Thanks to all of my X-Mold, we clear without a 4 of a kind on Anti-4, and I buy 4 fingers to do some crazy tech, knowing that Chad was gonna leave soon. And there was a skip that would level up my straight flush to level 11. Yeah, this is known by a wide amount of people, but in case you didn't know, since 4 fingers make a 4 card order count as a straight, and 4 cards of the same suit be a flush, if you have both a straight and play 4 cards that have the same suit, even if it would normally be a straight flush, boom. With the outrageous amount of X-Mod that we have, it one-shots Anti-7. Then I spent way too much money, well actually all of it, to try find something to replace Baseball card after it died, but nothing too amazing showed up. On top of that, the boss ended up being the worst one in the game. So yeah, more salt in the wound, we lost. Goldstake scaling is making me feel like that one Danganronpa meme, with the numbers getting more and more absurd, with me just praying for something useful that in the end hasn't happened yet. It has less cards, so maybe it could be better for 4 of a kind? Or Full House? Let's try this one. The first few runs were not amazing, except this one. The early Flint is very good to get on Anti 2, because its ability to halve your score is a lot more manageable when you only have to score 2k. I scaled the Square Joker because it's everything I have that can scale, while being safe thanks to the Fest. My uncommon skip and then being a Madness, which is, I think, the most useless card for the challenge. It didn't matter that much that we didn't get anything useful, as we got the wall anyway. Playing this challenge is very weird, because you do a lot of stuff you normally wouldn't, like spend too much money on early game to get scraps to use later, or grab X-Mold jokers you need to build towards without a deck fixing right now, or buying jokers even when you are poor, which is something you wouldn't do because of, interest. I normally take Fest here, for example, but for the future, Blackboard is theoretically better, because everything in this challenge is about what can happen in the future. Future X-Mold jokers, economy, even though most of the time, a future for me does not exist. I'm 14 and this is deep. We take the rental bus, and the next Celestial Pack Scape is useful, for its first time in its life. Here we have another example of scaling being hard because it's gonna be Anti-3 already, and the boss is on +1 mold. Also the needle only allows me to play one hand on top of that. I use World plus Full to plan a flush house hand in the future in case of an emergency. Once again, not useful now, but theoretically gambling can save me on this challenge about gambling. Very philosophical once again. The next thing I get is a Polychrome Rocket, and halvesies. I buy the discarded voucher even though I've been playing pairs this far, cause it's not gonna be enough in the future anyway. Next job was the thing that made me have some hope.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got, if not himself? Then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Yes, it was my